Get the far out of here. Let us see how Lady J was trying to do what we call damage control.
How people are trying to pull her down. Let me read this madness. My sister, guys, she has been really going through a lot. You know, there are some things even we never share on videos. But I was watching her video today because my sister, she's a family, you know. Whatever she goes through, I'm one of the very first people to truly understand what's really going on. Like she shared with her audience or with the public, she lost her baby. But the comments that I'm reading here, it's just a pure madness. Okay, don't joke, D. If it's fake title, then God will punish you because the tongue has power. Guys, we don't do fake things. My sister, she has been going through serious hardships, you know.
Welcome back to the channel. This is Lumumba Africa, and today I'll be talking about damage control. Mwango abused a subscriber in her comment section, telling them, get the far out of here. Mwango did a live stream which she later deleted or made that live stream private. She had put a rather provocative title saying, you all expected me to suffer. While she was doing that live stream, oh my god, the chat section was really giving it to her. People were calling her scammer. People were saying that she was so fake. For me, since I started watching Mwango and Marwa, I have never seen subscribers turning on them like this. They have done all kind of shenanigans, and usually only a couple of people switch over to the reactors or the lazy gang side. But this time, something was so different. Mwango had to end the live stream abruptly, and shortly afterward, she deleted it or put it in private. Right after that, she premiered another video. Half of the video was her cooking and other half showing her at the gym. She didn't really bother to address what had happened or attempted any serious damage control. Although the so-called positive reactors have tried something. I saw Mora attempting some damage control. I also saw this Jamaican reactor called Real Thing Podcast trying to do some damage control. But I think the biggest damage control came from her brother, Lady J. Lady J was saying, my sister this, my sister that, and asking why people were behaving that way. And I was like, wait a minute. You say you don't put your private life out there, but you go around the village putting other people's private business on the internet. There, he said that people don't know what this family is going through. He even read some of the bad comments that were posted on his sister's channel. This is what I call damage control. Lady J is attempting to control the narrative and defend his sister after the backlash. And I already know Marwa is probably going to address this, is likely going to come with his own version of damage control. I also have seen a lot of people, especially the people who are calling themselves positive. And what I saw from Mwango's channel, where one subscriber was being critical in the comments under her miscarriage video, Mwango responded by telling that subscriber to FUCK off and unfollow her. Now, out of all the comments under that video, why did Mwango choose that particular person's? Why tell one subscriber to fuck off simply because they were being critical? And this is where I have a question for the so-called positive reactors and content creators. Where is the positivity in telling your subscribers to fuck off because they asked critical questions. You claim to be positive every day. You say you don't entertain negativity. So where is the positivity? I was browsing YouTube and I came across the Black Demon, that is Black Beauty TV. Black Demon isn't exactly kind to Mwango either, and honestly, I have had time to understand Black Beauty's perspective sometimes. It is difficult to play devil's advocate when someone as critical as Black Demon appears to see straight through the station and openly question what is happening. Black Demon tried very hard to remain objective. She was criticizing Mwango and questioning some of the things happening until some of the subscribers she gained from that is Mora Senso and Mwango audience started criticizing Black Demon herself, and that is what tells us something. When an audience that once supported you starts questioning you, that's when you need to stop and ask yourself, what changed? What really changed? Why are people suddenly turning against you? Why are subscribers becoming critical? Why are people demanding answers? And most importantly, why are the people who used to defend you now asking questions? That is the real story here. It is not just about one comment. It is not just about the live stream. It is about trust. And once an audience starts losing trust in creator, every new video gets examined differently. And that's exactly what we are seeing now. For those who have been watching Mwango, because today I'll be posting 2 videos about Mwango. This first, I'm going to talk about damage control and Mwango. I want you to come, sit down, because we need to have a very serious conversation. Not a conversation about jealousy, not a conversation about haters, not a conversation about reactors, not a conversation about censor. I want to talk about your audience because something happened recently that, in my opinion, should concern you more than anything a reactor can say about you. Your own subscribers started questioning you in that live stream. Your own subscribers started challenging you. Your own subscribers started telling you that they didn't believe what they were seeing and what you're saying. And then during that live stream, one of the responses attributed to you was a lot of negative thing. Now D, let us slow down. You are an influencer. You have built a platform because you chose, people chose to watch you. Those people are not your enemies simply because they asked uncomfortable questions. You don't have to agree with every subscribers. You don't have even to respond to every subscriber, but when somebody supports your channel, watch your videos, comment, shares your content, and then ask a difficult question, telling them to get hell out of your comment section, it is not exactly the best way to build trust. And this is where I want us to talk about today, because I think there is much a bigger problem here than one angry comment. And let me start by when your audience start turning. I have watched this wall Kenge Lamborghini Express ecosystem for quite some time, and normally, even when there are controversies, you find a loyal group of subscribers defending them. People will say, leave them alone, go get life, do your own content, mind your own business, don't watch if you don't like them. Those are just jealousy reactors. Fine, that's YouTube. But sometimes something that felt different this time, the criticism appeared to be coming from people who were not necessarily long-time enemy, people who have been watching, people who have been subscribing, and I saw a lot of people, more than 1,000 subscribers, have unsubscribed, and this will be a title and a topic by itself. People who have been following the story about Mwango miscarriage, and because the story is not adding up, yeah, how do you lie? How do you laugh when you're talking about miscarriage? And that is what you should be paying attention to, because there is a massive difference between reactors criticizing you and your own audience losing confidence on you. A reactor can criticize you for years and you can ignore them, but when your own subscriber start asking, wait, what is going on? Why doesn't this make sense? Or why doesn't this make sense? Why are you responding like this? That is when you need to stop listening, not because every accusation is true, but because your audience is telling you how they perceive your content. Let me speak about the live stream. From what the viewers are reporting and from what I saw in that live stream, the live stream and the reality has to be told. The live stream was uncomfortable. The comment section was reportedly filled with people questioning you. Some people called you fake. Some people called you scammer. Other people were demanding answers. And then the live stream disappeared or was made private. Now, before anybody jumps on me, let us make these very clear. A live stream being deleted or made private does not automatically prove anything. Creators delete videos all the time. They make videos private. They change their mind. They record some. But for these, Lamborghini Express saw this live stream. People were really coming after her. So she decided, let us make it very much private, because I've been lying to people, because all my life I've been posting fake life of me. Lamborghini Express came on camera and told the subscriber that he has experienced miscarriage. This statement was not adding up. For somebody who has experienced miscarriage, you just see the face. You know that this, in reality, this is what happened. Then, a lot of things have been said. So, for me, I believe that Lamborghini Express deleted it. Therefore, she's guilty. And that's the reality. And when a creator has already been facing criticism, every action becomes part of the conversation. That is how public perception works. You cannot control what people think. You can only control what you do. And let me say this. Let me talk about the title of that live stream. You all expected me to suffer. D, what exactly is you all? Who are you talking to? The reactors, the critics, your subscribers, people who questioned the pregnancy, people who questioned your relationship, everybody, because if you are addressing your entire audience, then you have a communication problem. Your audience is not one person. It is thousands of people. Some support you, some criticize you, some don't care, some are just watching for entertainment, some may genuinely be concerned about you, some may be skeptical, and some people may simply be trolls. You cannot put all these people into one basket and call them haters. That's not leadership, that's emotional reaction. And when you are an influencer, emotional reaction can become content, and once they are online, people remember them. Let me speak on what you responded to one of the subscribers. Get the fuck out of here. And a subscriber leaves a critical comment, and the response attributed to D. Mwango is, get the fuck out of here. Do you really? Really? This is the moment when I have to ask you, who is the customer? Your subscriber. Who is supporting your channel? Your subscriber. Who is watching your videos? Your subscriber. Who contributes to your views? Your subscriber. And when someone is saying something you don't like, you tell them to leave. You don't have to tolerate abuse. For me, I abuse you because you deserve to be abused because of various reasons. Yeah, you never come to my comment section then call me a hater. Yeah, you don't have to tolerate threats. You don't have to tolerate harassment, but criticism is part of being a public figure. If you want a platform where nobody questions you, social media is probably the wrong place. But the moment you put your life online, people will have opinions. Some will be fair, some will be unfair, some will be intelligent. Your job isn't to fight every single person. Your job is to decide which criticism deserves a better answer. And let me speak about D. You don't have to prove your private life. And this is where I'm actually going to defend D. Mwango. I'm going to defend you for a moment. You don't owe YouTube your entire private life. You don't owe me your medical record. You don't owe subscriber your medical or hospital record. You don't owe a lot of things to your subscriber, but if you have suffered a miscarriage, then that is deeply personal. If you don't want to show medical evidence, that is right for you. If you want to what we call to grieve privately, that's your right. But here is the catch. Private and public storytelling are two different things. If we choose to announce something publicly, people will react to the announcement. That's unavoidable. And if the audience notices things that they don't understand, they will ask questions. That does not mean question is valid. It means you are dealing with a public audience. And let me talk about the psychology of trust. And this is something that we called confirmation bias. Also yesterday I spoke something about confirmation bias. For those who really understand what psychology is, for those who are trying to learn psychology, when people already believe you are genuine, they interpret what we call the ambiguous information in your favor. When people already believe you are the dishonest, they interpret the same information against you. So that's why two people can watch the same video and reach completely different conclusions. One says she is telling the truth, another one says she's acting, and both believe they are seeing the obvious truth. That then there is what we call the cognitive dissonance. When people have invested emotionally in you and suddenly encounter something that conflicts with what they previously believed, they experience discomfort. They start asking questions. Wait, didn't she say this before? What happened? Why is this different now? If you responded to those questions by attacking the audience, you make the problem more worse, because people don't just remember the original controversy. They remember how you responded to it. And let me say this about your response has become part of the story. And this is something that influencers need to understand. When you are accused of something, there are two stories. The first is what actually happened. The second story is how did you respond when people question what happened. Sometimes the second story becomes bigger than the first. If someone asks, is it true? And you calmly explain, people may move on. But if you attack them, insult them, block them, call them jealousy, and tell them to leave, suddenly the response itself becomes content. Now, reactors have something else to discuss. We have a lot of things to discuss. Why is she so angry? And suddenly the original issue becomes secondary. That is why emotional control is so important. And let me address the stupid fools and stupid people who are calling themselves positive. If you are going to do any damage control, let me classify you under the bracket of stupid people. I have heard this argument many times. Why are you people always negative? Why can't you support the Mwango? Why are you attacking this family? Okay, let us define positivity. Is positivity blindly defending someone? No. Is positivity attacking everyone who asks a question? No. Is positivity telling subscribers they are haters? No. Is positivity calling subscribers fuck off? No. If I support you, I should be able to tell you, you are wrong here. That's not hatred. That is being honest. If your friends tell you everything you do is perfect, those are not necessarily friends. Sometimes you need the person who says, bro, you messed up. That is more valuable than 50 people shouting, you are perfect. Who told you are perfect? Huh? And let me talk to Lady J, because you deserve to be in that bracket of stupid people. Then, why did Lady J talking about the situation? He was defending his own sister. And listen, I understand that. If your sister is being attacked online, naturally, you are going to feel protective. Family members are allowed to defend each other. But when family member enters the public conversation, they also become part of the story. You know, when I saw Mura Senso trying to protect you, that if you talk bad about my brother, you are also my enemy. I was really laughing about that, yeah? And that is when I ask, is this genuine clarification or is damage control? I don't know. Only Lady J knows in his intention. But from the outside, whenever controversy happens and relatives suddenly start explaining the situation, people will naturally call it damage control. That is the nature of internet. And Lady J, you said something along the lines of people not knowing what the family going through. Be fair enough, people don't know everything, but here's the question. When you cry for help, the same subscriber, the one who helped you. When you need these, the same. But if you don't want people discussing your family, private life, why is so much private information being turned into public content? You cannot have it both ways. You can't say respect our privacy and simultaneously make your private life a major part of content. That is where boundaries become blurry. And let me talk about double standard. And this is where I want to challenge the entire family. If privacy matters, let private matters remain consistent. And the reason why I'm telling us this, because don't demand privacy only when the story is becoming uncomfortable. If somebody else's private business is content, when things are going well, don't suddenly demand that everyone stop talking. When criticism arrives, the internet remembers, the audience remembers, screenshots remember, videos remember. And when creators need to think carefully before putting private matters online, because once something is online, you will never completely take it back. And let me speak to Black Demon. This one of interesting that I've noticed is that even commenters who try to remain objective can eventually become target when they don't say what the fan base want to hear. That's another psychology phenomenon. It is called group polarization, yeah? When people with similar opinions spend a lot of time together, their views can become more extremely. You see it in politics, you see it in sports, and you absolutely see it in YouTube fandoms. One group says, D is perfect, another one says, the Mwango is fake. And suddenly, there is no middle ground. But I'm telling you, there is middle ground. You say, I support D, but I don't agree with this. You can say, I don't like D content. I don't believe everything and any accusations against him. That's called thinking. So if you think critically, that is the best thing. And let me say this today, your biggest problem is not the reactors. Your biggest problem is not me. Your biggest problem is not Black Demon. Your biggest problem is not Mora. Your biggest problem is not Real Thing Podcast. Your biggest problem is not Maro. Your biggest problem isn't even the comments. Your biggest problem is trust. If your audience trusts you, you can survive criticism. If your audience does not trust you, even the future story becomes a debate. You can tell the absolute truth tomorrow, and someone will say, are we sure? That's dangerous, because once credibility is damaged, rebuilding it takes time. And let me tell this to the subscriber, don't turn your subscribers into enemies. And that's the reality. You don't even have to answer them, but don't turn your subscribers into enemies. Some of them have watched you for years. They have watched your travel. They have celebrated for your achievement. They have contributed views to your channel. And now because they are asking questions, they suddenly call haters. No. Some of them may simply be disappointed. There is a difference. A disappointment supporter is not necessarily an enemy. And if you understand that, you can handle criticism much better. And let me say what you should have done. Have trust, build trust, and if I was advising the Mwango exactly, what will I have done? I wouldn't fight in the comment section. I wouldn't insult subscribers. I wouldn't get into a shouting match. I wouldn't send relatives to fight people. I will make 10. Actually, I wouldn't make 10 emotional videos. I will make one calm statement. I will say, I have seen the questions. I understand why people are confused. I'm not going to share every private life or private details, but I want to clarify what I can. I also ask people to respect my privacy. Done. No drama, no insult, no war, not 20 reactors getting content for 3 weeks. That's how you control an ad. You don't control it by screaming louder. You don't control it through consistently and composure. And let me say this. D, come to the front. And I have to tell you, I'm giving you one final lesson. You choose this life. You choose to become a public figure. You choose to document relationship. You choose to document travels. You choose to document personal experience. So you choose to build an audience, and that's okay. But with influence comes responsibility. Your subscribers are not your property. They are not obligated to agree with you. They are not obligated to defend you, and they are definitely not obligated to remain silent when they have questions. You can block them. You can delete comments. You can make videos private. You can ignore reactors. You can walk away from the internet. Those are your choices, but none of those things will make question disappear, because the audience has a brain, the audience has memory, and the audience is allowed to think. And here's the hardest truth: you don't lose your audience when people criticize it. You lose your audience when you stop believing, or actually you lose your audience when people stop believing in you. Right now, you have lost your audience because they don't believe in you. That's the difference. So, if you want to protect your channel, don't spend all your energy fighting critics. Build credibility, be consistent, communicate clearly, Don't overreact. Don't insult people who disagree with you, and don't allow your supporters to turn every criticism into war, because eventually even the most loyal audience gets tired. They get tired of defending you. They get tired of explaining. They get tired of fighting, and eventually they say, you know what? Let me just watch from the outside. And when that happens, the views may still be there for a while, but the relationship between creators and audience have changed. That's what I think the Mwango needs to. And to the subscriber watching this, don't blindly believe me either. Don't blindly believe the Mwango. Don't blindly believe the reactors. Don't blindly believe the defender. Look at the evidence. Ask questions. Think independently, and don't allow anybody, including me, to do this to your thinking capacity, because at the end of the day, this is YouTube. These creators are making content. Your audience are there, and the audience have the final choice. Watch the question, support, criticize, or simply walk away. That's the real power. Goodbye for now, till we meet the next time. Goodbye.